When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? If the future does not include being out there among the stars and being. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. We're going to make it happen. As God is my bloody witness, I'm hell-bent on making it work. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur.
I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Life is too short for long-term grudges.
Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is a disaster.
People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. There's a silly notion that failure is not an option, and failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide.
I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better.
The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. I wouldn't say I have a lack of fear. In fact, I'd like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. You have to say, well, why did it succeed where others did not? I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. You should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong.
I take the position that I'm always to some degree wrong, and the aspiration is to be less wrong.
One of the really tough things is figuring out what questions to ask. Once you figure out the question, then the answer is relatively easy. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. Starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business, I'd say, number one is have a high pain threshold.